Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's episode, we shall be talking on the workable tips to prepare or tackle anatomy steeplechase in exam, be it gross anatomy, mostly gross anatomy, and histology, or also embryology. Embryology and histology are mostly slide, right? Or get pictures placed on a bench, that is the specimen. But for gross anatomy, you are going to see the physical structure being placed as your specimen. First thing to do to excel very well on your anatomy steeplechase, number one is visiting your school anatomy museum regularly before your exam. That is the number one thing you should do. How can you be preparing for anatomy steeplechase and you haven't visited your school museum? You haven't even seen those structures physically or how they look. See, it's not that you saw it on textbook is the problem. You need to go and see the structure, appreciate it, get those structures in your anatomy museum. Go to your school anatomy museum, request for it, then see it, look at how the thing is being fashioned, right? Get it there, then study it. Study the surface markings, especially bony structures. The surface markings, when you go to the soft tissues such as the brain, the lungs, like those viscera, the lungs, the liver, look at their surface markings, because the only thing that mainly purely distinguish those viscera, be it the thoracic viscera and abdominal viscera, are their surface markings, their physical organization, right? Imagine for lungs. If you are being asked a lungs in your anatomy steeplechase, they placed a lungs as one of your specimen, which is your question, now asking you to differentiate or identify the specimen with reason. And you have two lungs being placed. If you don't know the physical difference or the morphological differences between the two lungs, you can't give an answer to that question, right? So when you visit your school museum, check out for those structures, appreciate them. First, on bony structures, study their surface markings, their muscular markings, study their ossification centers, study their muscle attachment. While for viscera, look out for their surface differences, such as for lungs, the lobes of the lungs fissures. Now for liver, look out for the lobes of the liver and those ligaments, right? Even for other structures, when you see pancreas, you know. When you see spleen, you know, right? That is the essence of visiting your school museum, so that you can have the pictorial view of the structure period to your exam. That is the first thing to do. The second thing is prepare with Frank Natas Atlas. Yes, you have to prepare with that textbook. Go along to your anatomy museum with that textbook. That is Atlas Anatomy, in short. Go along with it. Prepare with Frank Natas Atlas. If you don't have it on hard copy, now you can download it online, install it in your phone, then go with it. Because viewing those structures, as you are seeing the structure physical, you are also having it on your book or on your phone, so that you can be identifying the muscular markings or other regions of the structure that you are trying to study on. So if you are going to your school museum, go alongside with Frank Natas Atlas Anatomy, so that it will help you to study those structures, because Atlas Anatomy is diagram. It will give you the detailed labelings of the diagram you are trying to study. That is another thing you should do. If you don't have it, you can learn it from your seniors. You can learn it from people that have passed the exam. That is the best thing to do. Do not study anatomy steeplechase without Frank Natas Atlas, or without having something that can be giving you the structure. It's not to go online and start asking Google the diagram and all that, go with a fragmented atlas, or you download it on your phone or your tab, keep it there. When you go to a museum, you open it and study the structure you want to study alongside with the physical structure you have, right? The next one is fast reasoning. Yes, this exam is a funny exam. I think some school, one question is 10 seconds, while some school, one question is 30 seconds or 40 seconds. So it's based on seconds. It's not minutes. It's not hour. It's not like your normal essay question or your normal MCQ question or Viva per se. This one is seconds. You have to reason so fast. You have to reason very, very fast. When you are in anatomy steeplechase exam hall, don't just focus on the question that like you are answering, because you don't touch specimens. You can never touch a bony specimen. It is there. You don't touch it. So everything you are doing is within your brain. Recall that for bony specimen, the bone you are seeing in front of you is opposite to you, right? So note that your right is the left of the bone, while the left of the bone is your right. So do not appreciate the bony structure directly, so that you will not mix features. Features. That is an important thing to note on, right? You have to do it so that it will help and assist you to pass your exam excellently. When you are tackling a question on exam that is for steeplechase, do not just focus on that one. Use your eyeball to watch other ones so that you know how to get prepared. Your exam is in seconds. You have to be fast, and don't allow people to push you. Always be active, right? So that is for that one. We are done with the tip. The next tip is teamwork. Yes, before your anatomy steeplechase, you can call on your friends, your team. You go to museum, teach yourselves, appreciate those structures, because you go in there only might get boring. But when you go with some group of students, it will help you a lot. It will help you to retain. It will help you to have the features of those structures at your fingertip, because discussions helps a lot in exam, especially anatomy exam. Call on your friends, or you can get a tutor that will assist you to teach you guys, so that you guys will pass excellently. The next one is double specimen focusing. That is what it means. Double specimen focusing, I will explain. What it means is that do not stay in the specimen you are writing only. You have to diversify your thought over other ones, right? If you are tackling this particular specimen, because some specimen do carry like 3 or 4 questions. No specimen will carry 1 question. It's not possible. Specimen carry like at least 2 questions for each specimen. Some do carry like 4 or 5 or 6 questions, and you're answering this thing in seconds, not in minutes. So you have to double task, because if this specimen that you are answering is having 2 questions, and others is having, and the next one you are seeing on the next bench is having like 6 questions, nobody should tell you that like you don't need to be told that that specimen you are seeing have big question. There are some structures that you see on a bench, you already know that yes, that structure is having multiple questions, right? So you have to be diversified as you are tackling this particular question. Check for the next bench. Use your eye to check what structure is there, what could be the possible question to be asked in that structure. That is just it, so that you will not be overwhelmed, because you might get confused. Imagine not finishing this question and bell is being rang to move to the next bench. It's a problem, right? That means you have unfinished question, uncompleted question, right? That is just it, because your answer is not complete for the one you left, and you're going to tackle another one. Already your mindset has been distorted. So that is how it works. You have to do what? You have to go for double specimen focus. deploy it in your way of writing the exam. It will help you a lot. Don't just focus on the particular question you're answering. Once you're answering them, your eyes should be on that ones. Even before you entering the exam hall, look at those bench, right? Look at those bench. I don't know, although there are some schools that their own is straightforward, while some school their own is in a hall. If your own school exam Steeplechase is inside the hall, you are lucky, because once you enter the hall, you guys are in a row. If you enter the hall, you have to watch the whole bench, watch the whole specimen. That is just it, so that you know which one to tackle, which one less. You'll be engrossed, right? Because you have already seen those specimen. Now, the next thing is what could be the question that will come out on that specimen. That is just it. So, double specimen focusing is essential. The next one is stay focused. You have to stay focused. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted, because this exam is a funny exam. Your friends, you guys might be talking in a line. You might be just in the line where you're supposed to be revising or supposed to be looking on those specimen while you are on a queue. So do not be distracted, right? So that is the tips to pass or how to tackle anatomy steeplechase in your exam. I believe with this, it will help you to a length and also give you an insight on the exam you are going to tackle. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I really appreciate it.